For nearly a decade, Polaris's RZR has been either battling with older versions of itself or showing the competition just how far they still have to go if they want to be taken seriously in the pure sports side-by-side segment. Polaris has more than proven they're capable of beating themselves at their own game. But what happens when the competition steps up to level the playing field? Roseau and Thief River Falls, Minnesota are just down the road from each other, and we're pretty sure a little bit of peeking over the fence goes on from time to time. Wildcat has been on a divine mission these past few years. It started with the original Wildcat, a vehicle that showed us they are paying attention to Polaris's biggest and baddest, and that they too understand what it takes to go fast in the dirt. Then came the Trail, a stab directly at the heart of the 50-inch class. And now, the sport has been unleashed and is targeted directly at Polaris's 60-inch RZR 900S. We spend a decent amount of time perusing our social media accounts, reading comments, and following general trends and perceptions about not just the industry as a whole or each manufacturer, but about how we at Dirt Trax are perceived as well. And what we do is a double-edged sword. If we don't give honest, hard-hitting opinions on the vehicles we test and the shootouts we perform, our viewers feel like those segments are hollow. But when we do give honest, blunt opinions, we get labeled lovers or haters of that particular brand. So here's the deal. We're going to look at both of these vehicles today and find out which one rules. And you might not like the result. Maybe you own the one that loses. Maybe you simply disagree. At the end of the day, pleasing everyone isn't what we're here for. We're here for the truth. Period. And here it is. The Wildcat Sport is the most exciting 60-inch sport side-by-side to hit the market in a long time. Why? Because it has all the stuff needed to rule this segment. We know there are others that attempt to play here, but none have come as prepared for battle as the Wildcat Sport. Ergonomically speaking, the Wildcat Sport is near perfection. Its low-slung, cart-style seating is perfect for any type of riding you could or would want to do with this vehicle. Track, trail, dune, fire road, being low makes you feel more stable and secure, especially when you're power sliding through corners at 55 miles an hour. On the track, power delivery is excellent thanks to its top-of-the-line Team Rapid Response clutches. On the other hand, this 700 twin does feel a little bit soft. On the trail, the Sport's suggested though not officially confirmed 60 to 65 horsepower is more than enough and will push this buggy to around 65 miles an hour at full jam, though it is working pretty hard to get those last 6 or 7 miles an hour. Let's be clear here, as a 700, this motor is impressive, but compared to its competition, it's just a little bit lacking. The Sport Limited comes from the factory with a full set of Carlisle Trail Pro tires, and these tires are fine for general, all-round use, but on a premium performance vehicle, they simply lack bite, especially on acceleration and especially in loose conditions. Elka Stage 5 shocks all around are damping just over 12 inches of front and rear wheel travel. Infinitely tunable in every way, these almost unbelievably premium shocks are, hands down, the best ever offered on a stock vehicle and are worth their weight in gold. The ride characteristics of the Wildcat can be tuned for pretty much any scenario, whether it be huge doubles on a racetrack to high-speed whoops in the desert or severely rutted single track in the woods. You can make this vehicle ride how you want it to. Arctic's limited model comes standard with some really nice upgrades. A set of full doors, sweet graphics, power steering, great-looking aluminum wheels, and of course the Elka shocks. In our opinion, you're getting way more than you're paying for with the limited package. The old RZR 800 is gone, and it's been completely replaced by this new 900S. To say this new vehicle is better in every way wouldn't even come close to doing it justice. Ergonomically, the RZR does not feel nearly as aggressive as the Wildcat. Its seats, though softer and definitely more comfortable, are positioned far more upright. In actuality, this doesn't affect the vehicle at all. It only affects driver confidence when the vehicle gets sideways. The higher you are, the more tippy it feels. It's not tippy, but it feels like it, especially when you climb directly out of the Wildcat and into the RZR like we did during testing. On the other hand, the seat's adjustable, and when you combine that with an adjustable steering wheel and massive legroom, you can get yourself positioned in the RZR exactly how you want to be. On the track, the RZR over-delivers on every front. Its 900 twin produces its 75 ponies through a perfectly tuned set of CVT clutches. 27-inch GBC dirt commanders provide grip like an NHRA dragster and have quickly become our favorite for all-round use on a sport side-by-side. Full throttle corner exits push you back in your seat, and you can wait longer to throttle up to the face of a jump, knowing the power is there to get you over. A full set of Fox Podium X 2.0 shocks damp 12 inches of front and 13 inches of rear wheel travel. The rear A-arms are tipped in at the front, and this rear suspension geometry helps improve overall chassis stability in all conditions. The Podium X 2.0 shocks are adjustable and do a great job of soaking up everything from small trail junk to huge landings at the track. They can be tuned for rider preference and have impressed everyone with how plush a ride they offer right out of the box. The RZR costs about $800 more than the Wildcat at retail, but still includes an impressive list of goodies. It's got excellent aluminum wheels with Dirt Commander tires, semi-doors, premium seats, cool graphics, power steering, and of course Fox Podium shocks. So you really are getting a lot for your money. But at the end of the day, you've heard all this stuff before. What you're here for right now is to find out which one we think is the better buy and why. In terms of ergonomics, these two vehicles end up in a tie. The kart style seating of the Wildcat is definitely superior to the more upright style seating of the RZR. However, the RZR seats are adjustable, there's more legroom, and the seats themselves are just more comfortable. Now, I hate ties, but in this case, it's legit. When it comes to horsepower, the Polaris has more. There is no arguing that. And if we were basing our comparison on horsepower, it would have had an unfair advantage. But recently, Arctic has been talking a lot about power to weight ratios. And in that sense, on paper, these two vehicles are almost identical, with the Polaris at 6.1 horsepower per 100 pounds and the Arctic at approximately 6.06 horsepower per 100 pounds. Performance math says they are comparable, and Arctic seems to agree, so we're gonna go with it. As a 700, the Wildcat's motor is impressive, but as Mark has always said, there's no replacement or displacement. And in this case, equal ratios on paper do not translate into equality in the dirt. The RZR does have more power. It gets that power to the ground with more authority, and it pulls harder, longer through its power band. Suspension was one category every tester was really surprised with. Based on specifications, the Wildcat should have this one nailed, but this is another example of how the truth can't always be found on paper. And this one is simply a matter of design. The Elka Stage 5s found on the Wildcat are the most impressive shock package ever offered on a factory vehicle, and they are superior to the Fox units found on the RZR. But no amount of fiddling with trick shocks can make up for superior suspension geometry, and the RZR has it. The design of its double A-arm front and rear suspension systems do an excellent job of smoothing out the small stuff and providing a plush, controllable ride while still maintaining excellent big hit bottoming resistance. After riding the two vehicles back to back, the results are impossible to deny. When we boil things way down and start talking about value, this is where things start to get a little tense among our crew. The Wildcat is $800 cheaper than the RZR at retail. You're getting all the same features, plus a full set of doors and the Elka shocks. For $800 more, you still gotta buy doors for your RZR, but it does have 10 to 13 more horsepower and way better tires. So the question is, could you spend $800 on your Wildcat and get it to perform like your RZR? And the answer is probably not. You might get it close, but let's be honest. Whether they spend the $800 extra on the RZR or not, everyone knows sport side-by-side owners are chronic upgraders. They will all spend money on performance-enhancing products. So is the base price difference really that big a deal? Both of these vehicles are excellent sport side-by-sides. The Wildcat is extremely capable of anything you can throw at it and has ultra premium suspension components and a fantastic seating position. But the RZR is still just a little bit better in nearly every way. Ergonomically, it was overall more comfortable. Ride quality was overall just a bit better. It's more powerful, and when you consider the extra horsepower and the fantastic stock tires, the $800 price difference is inconsequential. Everyone who tested both of these vehicles completely agreed the Wildcat has nothing to apologize for. It's an absolutely excellent 60-inch sport side-by-side. On the other hand, every single one of those very same testers also agreed there's no question Polaris's RZR is the obvious winner. If you've enjoyed watching this Dirt Trax TV segment, we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll never miss another update.